How's everyone doing today? My name is David Banda, and I promised you I was going to make this video, so this is what I'm doing. First and foremost, I have an online fitness business, King Physique Fitness, and I coach alongside my niece, Heavenly Reeves, and together we are DTR, Dreams to Reality Nutrition. Okay? So DTR, what we are is our passion to help people become the best physically and mentally. That's my purpose, my passion, and it's what I love to do. Alright, so a little bit about me. I turned 30 years old this year. I'm getting a little old. It is what it is. But I have a health and fitness management degree, and with that degree I learned about nutrition, how to train, different spectrums that I'm about to go over, and I learned exercise physiology, biomechanics, everything that you think of in my degree. So fitness is a very big, broad spectrum that I'm about to go over. Alright, so let's go over this spectrum, okay? Okay, so let's go over the spectrum, okay? So one thing that I repeat often is goal specific training. So if you look at this spectrum, this is all fitness related, okay? So I'm gonna start here. I just wrote some things that just popped in my head. So we have building muscle, we have fat loss and obesity, you have CrossFit, you have athletes, powerlifters, bodybuilding, dancing, runners, and recovery and rehab. So when it comes to goal specific training, this is why I wouldn't say I'm against group classes and things like that, because I'm gonna give you an example. If you have someone that's in recovery and rehab, say they have a sprain or a weak ankle mobility, or they can't really properly do a squat, but they have them doing exercises like someone that's at a intermediate level type training. So that's why I can't stress it enough. That needs to be goal specific. Don't get me wrong, I understand the camaraderie of going to class. Oh, meet me at 5 p.m. at blah, 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 and we're gonna have a great workout. Yes, you're having a great workout, but those workouts are cardiovascular endurance, like runners or people that play soccer, things like that. They need to have endurance. So when it comes to what we do, we customize training, and it's specific training. So what we do, what I do personally, what I customize things to is fat loss, building muscle, and bodybuilding purposes. Okay? So what I mean by that is there's different sets and rep ranges, and I've shared a picture of how to do that. So I'm not going to go into detail, but I just wanted to show you that this big old spectrum, whatever you're doing, it's good for you. Good to be fit, yes it is. But if you're wondering why you're not getting the results you want, then you need to make sure that your nutrition is on point. And if it's not, then you might want to reassess the way you're training. Alright, so now let's go into the most important thing, is your nutrition. That's going to be calories in versus calories out. So I need to go more into detail what calories in versus calories out is. So what that means is calories in is the calories I consume. Calories out is all the calories that I burn out. So without me going too much into detail with NEAT and thermogenic effect of foods and non-exercise activity, I'm trying to explain it the best I can. Okay. So calories in versus calories out. There's 7 days in the week. To lose 1 pound of body fat, you have to burn 3,500 calories. So there's formulas that you can use to find out what your calorie maintenance is. So let's go into that. Maintenance. Okay. So I'm just going to use an example. We have a PDF file that's general on how to figure out macros, but when we customize them, we use a little bit more detail and factors to get customized macros for someone. Okay. So what you need to understand is that this is an example. Say Joe comes to me and wants me to train him, and he wants to drop some body fat. Okay, So I calculate his formula and his maintenance 2,000. So we need to understand is if he consumes 2,100 calories, then he's gonna stay in maintenance. He's not gonna gain or lose weight, okay? And that goes in calories in versus calories out. All right. So if we're gonna lose weight, we have to go into a deficit. So I would start off, my methods is eat as much as you can in the deficit while losing body fat. And I'm gonna explain why. So this is where I would start on it. $1,850 or 1,800, whatever. He's gonna be lower than 2,000. So then those are his calories. Then I would customize his macros to calories because they are calories. I'm gonna explain that later. So macros are calories. People are like, "Whoa, what are macros? Where do I buy them?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, nutrition should have been a part of our school system and being taught that, especially nutrition and training. So anyway, 1,850 is a deficit. Okay. Alright, a lot of people do this. Their maintenance might be around here, however. What they do with fad diets and yo-yo dieting, they automatically start 1,200 calories. So they start eating very low, they eat the same shit, they get them a meal plan, and they eat about 1,200 calories. And then they're not training goals specifically, and they're doing cardio every day. So now I'm going to explain to you the way I do things. So Joe comes to me, deficit. That's his 1,850. Break it down his macros. Boom, boom, boom. He has to be consistent with these macros that are his calories for at least 10 to 14 days. I write him up a customized workout program. We start off 4 to 5 to 6 days depending on his schedule. You don't have to be a gym rat because I've seen gym rats go to the gym and they look like shit because they don't have nutrition on point. Think about it. Think about the guys that you go to your gym that still look the fucking same. Alright? So nutrition is number one. So we have him eat as much as he can. He weight trains, and then we start off cardio minimal because cardio is not needed to lose body fat. If you want to lose weight, a person can lose 1,200, can eat 1,200 calories, and they're gonna drop weight like this, but they restricted foods, they're eating the same crap. They might do it the longest, maybe like, I don't know, 2 weeks. Then they're gonna fall off because that's not sustainable. What we teach is sustainable and maintainable, and that's one thing that I'm going to that where I set myself apart from other people is if they follow their plan to the T and they put in that work, because this shit isn't easy. Like you have to do it yourself. That's why I don't do meal plans. If we started off 1,200 calories, then a lot of people can lose weight really fast, but all they're gonna go is from one big balloon to a smaller balloon. So that's what people are like, oh, I lost 10 pounds today on my juice diet, but they fucking look the same. Like, the scale doesn't need to be dictating of how happy or progress. Like, I can easily make it's water weight that I'm losing. There's a difference between losing weight and losing body fat. Body composition doesn't change when scale goes up and down. And I tell the women that I work with, once you get over the fucking scale, we're gonna be able to move forward towards a goal because weight fluctuates. That's all different. That's another video I can go with. But anyway, if you're stuck in the fad diets, yo-yo dieting, you're just gonna go in this whole little whirlwind of never getting to reach your goal because you've tried supplements, you tried restricting yourself and not eating probably waist trainers, teas and shit. That doesn't work because that's a fitness industry just trying to take your money. I educate people so it can be a lifestyle that's gonna help you, and this is gonna help you build habits and discipline for yourself, and then for you to be a role model for your family as well. So I'm gonna touch up on the surplus, okay? Alright, So this is what we preach, and if you're new to watching this, foods should not be looked at as bad or good. If you eat chocolate, it's not gonna make you fat. If you eat a donut, it's not gonna make you fat. What you need to understand is donut has fats and carbs in it. Chocolate has fats and carbs in it. Okay? So the only way you're gonna gain weight is being in a surplus. Okay? So let's say it's 3,000. Okay? So with that being said, we're going to take an individual. Joe was an all-star running back at high school. He worked out, he followed coaches, he had great work ethic. Then he graduates and he doesn't go to college or whatever. He starts going to work, and he's working 12-hour shifts. He doesn't go work. He doesn't make time to lift. All he does is drink beer and eat bad, always on the road, eating fast foods. So in his job, he may not be moving a lot, or maybe he's at a desk job, or he's at a job where it is manual labor, but they're sitting on their asses until they have to do a job. So he's not burning calories throughout the day. What he is doing is eating in the surplus. So that's why he gains weight. So when I work with people, I need to know what their daily activity is like that. That's just one of the factors that goes into the plan. So with this being taught to you, there's no such thing as bad or good foods, and I'm going to go into that into detail. So this is maintenance. Joe, if he eats 2,000 calories, will not gain or lose weight. If I would start him off as eating as much as he can in a deficit, focus on nutrition, hitting macros, training, and then cardio minimum as possible. A lot of people go 1,200 calories, fat diets, yo-yo dieting, and they just go in that cycle, and they never get to the progress they want because they're not taught how to have habits and better themselves. So then the only way to gain weight is to be in a surplus, and that's calories in versus calories out. Okay? Alright, so what are macros? A lot of people don't even know what macros are, and throughout the years, I've seen someone actually post on Facebook is, what are macros, where can I buy them? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I really should have made this video 6 years ago or something like that. But anyway, this is why I'm doing it, for the people that want to learn. So first and foremost, what are macros? Macro means bigger macronutrients, okay? So the bigger picture is your body needs these 3 macronutrients for it to survive. So I'm going to write them out. Alright, so I just put PFC. So 3 macronutrients is a protein, a fat, and a carbohydrate. So your body needs all those 3 for it to survive. I'm not going to discuss micronutrients, but I'm going to let you know right now that micronutrients, micro means smaller, and those are your vitamins and minerals that your body needs at a smaller dosage or something. You don't need as much for it to survive, okay? So for macros, I'm going to write on here and I'm going to discuss it. Alright, so I want to tell y'all, before I thoroughly explain to y'all why we need all 3 of these. So first and foremost, you need to understand that this is going to be a little number game. It's basic math and very simple to do if you actually pay attention. So if you look at a nutrition serving, it tells you all the nutrition facts on it. So if you pay attention to the proteins, fats, and carbs, it's going to say proteins, whatever, carbs is whatever, fats is whatever. So you need to understand 1 gram of protein and carbs is going to equal 4 calories. 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. So if you do the math, it's going to equal up to the calories. That's why counting calories is cool, but if you want to take things to the next level and know what you're eating, counting macros is the best way to do it, in my opinion, to make it a lifestyle. It is also known as IIFYM, if it fits your macros, and flexible dieting, and I will go into that further later on in this video. So let me tell you why your body needs these. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain to you why our bodies need these macronutrients and why I advise and I coach my clients to hit their macros, not calories. So because macros are calories, and I'm gonna explain that thoroughly after this. If I have them 3 macronutrients and I have their numbers set to them, if they're inadequate in, so say it's 1,500 calories, and they're over under carbs and they're over under fats and they're inadequate in their protein, but they're still at 1,500. So that's why it's important, because protein is number one. That should be your focus on. This is why our bodies need the macronutrients, okay? So protein macronutrient helps our body grow, build, and repair muscle tissue. Okay, so that's why it's very important. Have you ever seen someone this is why when I showed y'all the caloric deficit maintenance, when someone diets down really fast, they lose muscle mass. So they go from one big balloon to a small balloon, and they have no definition. So that's why when I coach people, it's specific to their goal. So let me continue. Fats. Our body needs those fats. Fats have a really bad rapport to them, because we think fats, oh, I can't eat that because fat, I'm gonna get fat. The only way you gain fat is eating in a caloric surplus, eating like a piece of shit. So that's why. So this is why our body needs them. Fats actually help make certain hormones for our bodily function. It protects our organs, and it helps with cell function. So it helps with our hair, skin, and nails production. So that's why we need our fats. Now let me go to the carbohydrate source. And I have to do this because I cannot stand keto. And the reason why I cannot stand keto, the only reason keto works is because you're in caloric deficit and they cut out carbs. The reason why it works, being your calories in versus calories out, caloric deficit, of course. So carbohydrates, if you Google it, it says it is our main source for energy. Carbohydrates are broken down to glucose. It is our main source for our body to use for energy. And it also helps synthesize amino acids for the help rebuild of the protein building blocks. Okay, so you need all 3. That's why macros is bigger, and that's why macros are important. I will say this, if it fits your macros, it's not for everybody. Some people like meal plans. Some people get overwhelmed and they don't know how to count macros, but it's very basic knowledge and it's very simple to do. And it teaches you to be flexible in your approach, not restricting. That's why, to me, this is the best way to make it a lifestyle for a diet. All right, so what I'm gonna do is share a few pictures of the physique that I've gotten over the years by counting macros. I'm going to share it with y'all the online sources, the credible sources that I got from the internet that is going to say and explain what I do and teach is database and science and research supported. Alright, so this comes from Women's Health magazine, so I'm going to just read it out for you. It says, as long as I stuck to my caloric deficit, which I explained earlier, and ate within my planned macros for the day, I could eat healthy 80% of the time and indulge 20% of the time is to lose weight. That's the 80-20 golden rule that I always talk about. I stuck to the 80-20, and if it fits your macros rules consistently, though I still had days when I overate. But I never punish myself for that. I'm human. I tell people that I can have my cake and eat it too with the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time I eat whole foods, veggies, fruits, etc. And 20% of the time I have treats like cake or fries. Me personally, I like eating yassa bars, ice cream, or Rice Krispie treats, or anything, because it's about macros. This works for me because I never deprive myself. Depriving myself in the past always backfired. I eat salads all week and then binge eat chips on the weekend. Or more likely in the area that we live in, they're at the Tex-Mex restaurant slamming margaritas and eating foods, and then they have a binge whole weekend and they don't have any balance. So he said this works for me because but on this diet I can have chips in moderation, and that little fix during the week is all I need. That's the 80-20 rule on the Health magazine, Women's Health. Alright, so this one here is if it fits your macros.com. So a lot of people clean eaters think that if it fits your macros, it's all about eating junk food. And people that are on meal plans, is if it fits your macros diet isn't good as a meal plan. And I always get tired, and it's just people don't lack the knowledge of doing things. And I really get tired of hearing these things. So they did a study that, and this is what the study was. All right, so it says a new study out of the International Journal of Sports Nutrition and Exercise Metabolism showed that a macronutrient-based approach to diet results in at least equal dietary adequacy compared to a traditional strict meal plan-based approach. So pretty much what I just said is they had group 1 meal plans and group 2 it fits your macros. So here's what the results were found. Males consumed less than recommended daily allowance or adequate intake of vitamins, ADE, potassium, fiber. There was no significant difference between the males following a strict meal plan or a macronutrient-based diet. So pretty much there was no, it's all about calories in versus calories out. So there was no significant difference. Females following a macronutrient-based diet consume more protein, sodium, and vitamins E and K. So pretty much they're saying that in a macronutrient diet that the women were able to get more micronutrients in their diet. So it also says the macronutrients or if it fits your macro approach will not result in micronutrient inadequacies to any greater degree than a traditional strict meal plan approach. So a lot of people think that people that count macros, we lack micronutrients, but honestly, we try to teach people to eat as much fruits and fiber and green veggies in their diet. So it also says, remember in women, it might even be a better approach to follow it if it fits your macros diet. This study is a great piece of large puzzle that lends credence to showing that if fits your macros diet approach is not poor for your overall health. So data just showed that you can follow the 80-20 rule and still get the results you want. And also it isn't poor health if you do it the correct way. And it's not poor for your overall health. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope that was very informative. And if you ever have any questions, you can feel free to message me. Alright? Let's say hello to my brother. If y'all ever seen me, I kept on looking down, was because this little son of mine kept on walking by me. So he counts his macros too. He's bulking right now. But what I'm trying to say is, thanks for watching. I hope y'all learned something. And in the next video, I'm going to teach y'all how to count macros, how to use MyFitnessPal, and what you should be measuring, what you shouldn't measure, and the best approach to go off of it, and how to use MyFitnessPal in the proper way. So I want to finish this video off by saying, train goal specific. You cannot outwork a bad diet, and nutrition is always going to come first. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later.